So as I said earlier, my experience with AmeriCorps NCCC, I've now served 2 terms. My first was 5 years ago. And what I want to share with you now is essentially opportunities that AmeriCorps can lead to. My experience after AmeriCorps NCCC has led to some pretty fun, awesome things in my life, which I am so grateful for. So I'll give you a little bit of review. And I hope you find this interesting, but more so, I hope you find it relevant. So this picture is just from my Corps year. I served 2 months in an elementary school in Biloxi, Mississippi as a student teacher in a kindergarten class and a 6th grade math class. This is me reading to the kids. It was a lot of fun. The kids were great. This is when I was in New Orleans building houses with Habitat for Humanity. I thought that was a cool photo, and so did Voices for National Service. This was their photo of the month, which was pretty cool. Just in a way to promote national service. This was my team from 5 years ago. We were a fun bunch. As Rachel mentioned earlier, in AmeriCorps NCCC, you live together, you work together, you get your groceries together, you hang out together, you maybe fight together, and then you get over it because these are the people that you're with for the whole year, and they become like family to you. So I said I would talk about what I did after AmeriCorps NCCC. That year was amazing, but it led to some pretty awesome things afterward. So 12 days after my Corps year ended, I joined an organization called BioTour. Essentially, we lived on 2 school buses that we put solar panels on the roof of, converted to run on recycled waste vegetable oil, and took all the seats out of, as you can see here. Rebuilt the bus. We put a bunk bed in the back of the bus. We had a kitchen in the front. We had a table that we flipped over and turned into a bed, and you could sit all alongside the bus. And we traveled the country. We went on a tour, and we gave presentations at colleges and high schools about renewable energy, sustainability, and just meeting cool people. As you can see up here, these are seats. Those are the former seats that we took out of the bus, and we reused them as shelves. So sometimes we had bands at colleges play on the roof, powered by our solar panels. And this was during the 2008 election, so it was called BioTour on the campaign trail. And essentially we were encouraging people to vote with clean energy in mind during the 2008 election. Just a cool photo that my friend caught. So 4 shots of the bus. And this was a 1989 Bluebird school bus. It was an old bus, and as you can see, sometimes it broke down. So this is a picture of us pushing the bus to get it repaired. So we had a lot of adventure on the road. Travel continued. The reason I share this with you is that I never would have thought to live on a bus and travel the country if I hadn't done AmeriCorps NCCC first. So it really exposed me to a new way of thinking about options and just fun things to do. Have any of you guys heard of Tom's Shoes?
Yeah.
Cool. A lot of yeses.
All the girls.
All right, cool. Well, after BioTour, I worked at Tom's, at the headquarters in Santa Monica. And at the time, this was our mission statement. For every pair you purchase, Tom's will give a pair to a child in need. And I thought, sounds like a cool company. And it was. But I thought it could be a little bit better. And much like when you are in, like I remember when I was in school, there were times when I had a question and I was too nervous to ask it. And I wish somebody would ask a question. I'd go, oh, that's a stupid question. I'm not going to ask that. I don't know where it came from that we think things are sometimes stupid questions, but we tell ourselves, oh, I'm not going to ask that, or whatever reason, I'm not good enough. We feel that resistance. And what I've learned is that when you feel that resistance to asking a question, for instance, when you're in school, that's kind of like your body telling you that's good. You should go towards that because that's an opportunity to challenge yourself to learn and to grow. And with reading this mission statement when I worked at Tom's, I thought that's good, but it could be better. But I felt resistance myself. But I was supported from my coworkers and friends to actually make the suggestion to our founder to change the mission statement. And the new mission statement of Tom's is now, with every pair you purchase, Tom's will give a pair of new shoes to a child in need, 1 for 1. And that's pretty cool. I did. So my message to you there is when you feel nervous about asking a question, maybe in class or something, speak up. Like say, Otherwise, you're going to regret it. And I remember that feeling. After working at Tom's, I went up to Portland, Oregon as a fellow for an organization called BioTour, which was an opportunity to work 80 hours a week on free political campaigns to learn how to leverage volunteers, how to fundraise, how to essentially run a political campaign. It was a great opportunity to learn how to do a little bit more of public speaking. And I would encourage you all, anytime you get the chance to do some public speaking, jump into it, even when it scares you. So this is some of the people that I worked with. And throughout all these opportunities, I've met hundreds of people. I've lived with over 80 roommates in the past 5 years, and they're all close friends. This is a photo of my friend and I at the White House. After BioTour, I served as a White House intern. So this is two of us dressed as Wayne and Garth on Halloween. We got to give candy out on the front steps of the White House with President Obama and the First Lady. That was an awesome experience. I look at this picture and I think, who becomes a White House intern? Like, that's kind of ridiculous. When I was at Tom's, my grandma said to me, President Obama's just been elected, you should work with him. I thought, that's okay, like, that's sure. But I started thinking more about it, and I was like, okay, that sounds absurd to me, which means that it probably would be absurd to other people too. So they maybe won't apply, which means that I should apply. This is the kind of like the reverse psychology logic that I was thinking about. So I applied, and I got lucky, and I got accepted. Not having any political connections to DC or whatnot. So my takeaway for you in that is set bold goals for yourself and just put yourself out there, because maybe you will get accepted too. So 2009, that was in 2009. 2009 was a really busy year for me, so I wanted to take some time to myself. So it just so happened that I set a New Year's resolution to paint. I started painting every single day of 2010. This is a watercolor that I did. And it was around that time that the earthquake in Haiti happened. You guys remember that? Yeah. So when that happened, I thought, I want to help out, but what can I do? Coincidentally, I had been painting, right? So I thought, well, I will give away my watercolors to people who donate to Haiti's earthquake relief. So this is one I did of MLK Jr., another one. And essentially, I basically was like, how am I going to do this? Well, I made a Facebook page called Tonight's Watercolor, and I just put them up there, and I said, give these away to people who donate to Haiti's earthquake relief. And my takeaway for you in that might be, if you have something to contribute, if there's something you can share that you want to do that can serve, and an organization doesn't exist to do it, make it up. Just put your stuff up there. Nobody is going to give you permission to do something that matters. You have to take it on yourself. Fast forward a little bit. I was living in Austin, and I went up to Denver for a buddy's wedding. In fact, this was the wedding of a friend of mine who was on my AmeriCorps team. So as I said, you make friends for life. Going to his wedding was pretty cool. And after that, another friend from our team, we decided to take a road trip. So we went to Chicago, and we were in Chicago. Have any of you been to Chicago? Yes. Yes. There's an ice cream place in Chicago. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a pretty good one apparently. And I remember being there, talking with his brother and brother's wife, who are both teachers. And what did teachers do in the summer? Relax. Okay. Some of them work at summer camps, and I thought that sounds cool. I thought, I'd like to work at a summer camp. So this was on a Friday afternoon in Chicago. On Tuesday, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and I found this posting for a Ropes Course Facilitator in New Hampshire. I said, that looks pretty cool. They're hiring. I called them up immediately. I said, hello. My qualifications are that I love climbing trees and I'm not afraid of heights. And she said, great, you're hired. It was a little more complicated than that, but that's really not really. That's pretty much what happened. Within 6 days, I thought, oh, I'll work at a summer camp, and I'm on a plane to New Hampshire, responsible for the safety and well-being of girls like Jackie here while they do the ropes course. And so I would just share with the reason I'm telling you this is because what I have found in interviews that I've had is it's oftentimes more important that you express a genuine interest in wanting to learn and an enthusiasm than that you necessarily have the skills for the job to begin with. I didn't know a thing about ropes courses, but I was like, I would love to do that. And you can generally learn those skills. The cool thing about AmeriCorps NCCC is you will learn a lot of skills, actually. So you'll be more prepared anyway. So we did things like the climbing wall, the zip line. We took kids rock climbing. This is my buddy Alex. As I said, I didn't know anything about rock climbing, ropes course type stuff. So he was a co-facilitator with me, and he was kind of like a mentor to me. So that's the two of us reading up in the high ropes course. And then after that experience, I said, you know what, I still think I might like to do the Peace Corps one day. But before managing any projects abroad alone, it might be a good idea to learn how to manage a team of young people in the U.S. while traveling and navigating cross-country service. So this past year, I went back to AmeriCorps NCCC. I was a team leader. This is my team, Gold 2. This is when we were working to package military care packages. We worked at the Sacramento Zoo, so we got to feed the giraffes and hang out with the animals. That was a pretty cool project. We built houses with Habitat for Humanity in Jackson, Wyoming for 2 months. That was really cold. But we also got to do fun things. This is us on top of the van in front of the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. Standing on government vehicles is generally not condoned, but we wanted a picture. I also got to go skiing for the first time. That was fun. And we also got to see the Sequoia National Forest in Northern California. That is a huge tree. Went skydiving. Wearing a shirt. Have any of you been skydiving? I recommend it. Highly recommend it. We also, while we were in Wyoming, some dogs were coming through. The dogs that participated in the Iditarod in Alaska were coming through, and our sponsor was able to hook us up with a ride on the sled ride with these dogs. And they took us to the Granite Hot Springs. So what I'm sharing with you is that there are a lot of opportunities in AmeriCorps to also do fun things while you're serving. And I will end with this photo. You might recognize this guy in the green shirt. This team leader is my friend Alex, my ropes course buddy, who was a mentor to me when I was a ropes course facilitator. Having heard about my experience as a team leader, he then decided to go back and be a team leader himself. So now he is a team leader currently in NCCC. And I guess my takeaway from that would be that you never know how your interactions with people are going to affect how you'll affect them, how they'll affect you, and together how you'll affect others. So AmeriCorps NCCC opened up amazing experiences to me, which I never would have done if it wasn't for that. So I'd encourage you guys to look into it. I'd be happy to talk more about it.